Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Joe Finn coming at you with a brand new video. This one's going to be for all my music producers. If you're new or if you're advanced, this is going to go over some plugins that I think you all should have one way or another. But this is going to be more lean towards the beginners, because if you're so brand new to music production, let's just say you just got your brand new MacBook or PC or something, so you just got yourself Logic or FL Studios or Ableton or whatever DAW you're using, but you don't know where to begin. You don't really know anything about music theory. You don't really know where to begin to create chords and melodies, and how do I even start, what things should sound like, how things should be arranged, what's some more proper techniques to lay down a track. So I'm gonna go over some VST plugins that I think are beneficial for pretty much every producer, especially beginner ones that don't know much about music production, that just needs to jump right in and make the first beat right away with really not overthinking their certain elements. So I'm just going to dive right into it. Right now I got my Logic Pro pulled up, and I'm just going to go through certain plugins that I think that everyone may benefit from. The first one a lot of people don't like because they think it's cheating. They don't think it's the right way to learn or to lay down music. So a lot of people don't like this plugin. I like it because it makes my workflow so much faster. I know, okay, I want to do this song in this key, and I want to just lay it all out and get it going. So basically, the first plugin that I think all producers should have, at least, like I said, even the beginner one, especially the beginner one, should at least have this plugin, which is very beneficial, would be the Captain Chords plugin. The only bad about this plugin is you have to be connected to Wi-Fi all times to use it. That's the only down to this plugin. But as you can see, you could choose any key you want to be in. So if you want to do an A key, C, D, E, you can even see the equivalent to it, so F sharp or G flat. So it kind of gives you a little music theory. As you learn this plugin, you learn music in general. So as everyone knows, you can do C minor, and then you got different choices too, from C major, C, pentatonic, blue majors, harmonic minors, melodic minors. And it's good just to go down each one and really you can use this as a studying tool. You could see what chords go with the scale. So let's just say you chose C major. You can now see, C major, and you can see what it looks like right here. So you see, obviously, C, E, G. That forms a C chord. You can see what's on the scale. So you got C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. So you can see how it works. You can also include different from sus2, sus4s, major 6, major 7s, major 9s, and so forth. This actually just helps you give an idea what things should sound like, what it can sound like, what you can do. You can just choose a random key. This is something that you may be lost on. Don't really try pay much attention to this right away. This is more like when you're actually writing music, it's good to know these type of tables. But when you're first starting, just look at even the right column. Just make it a little bit easier. Okay, so this is going to be a C, G, E minor, D chord. And you can just click on one, and it'll pull it up, and you can hear what it sounds like right away. So as you can hear, you can see what the chords sound like. C major, G major, E minor, D major. Obviously, if you like how that sounds, you would just drag this little mini clip right onto the track that you're working with. Like I said, this is a great plugin to have. You can listen to all different type of scales and how they should sound. You can just keep going through all these, and you can learn the whole C major scale by just going through each of these ones in different platforms. So you can hear what it sounds like this way. The best part too, obviously when you dive more into the plugins, you could do more variations of chords. You could do chord changes, every measures, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes. Just doing that alone, you already started basically building your first beat. Honestly, it's such a great way to learn. From here, you can change your sounds. You can use different instruments, so you can still make it your own. If you don't like something that's here, you can change it any way you want. If you want to remove a feature, you can. So There's so much good features with this plugin when you really dive into it and just kind of learn it. But this is definitely great for beginner music producers because you can really learn music theory this way by just understanding how the chords work, how they're structured, and what's in that major. So like I said, you can do major chords, minor chords. Obviously major if you want that happier tone, minor if you're looking for more of a dark, grittier tone. So that's kind of what you want to try to approach, just so you can learn the difference between major and minor, feel the different sounds out, and then just try to grasp what you like. You can also make it as complex as you want. You can go with different octaves to make it a higher pitch, lower pitch. You can add the complexity, so you can basically add automatically another channel right to it to add another chord. And you can make different inversions, so you got different inversions, first inversion, second inversion, thirds. So by just doing all those different sounds, you can really get a fundamental idea of what sounds could sound like when you change it up and make it your own, which I think this is such a great plugin, and definitely all producers should have this, or even beginner ones that don't know anything about music theory or how to make chords or melodies or anything like that, because this kind of thing works the same way with melodies as well too. You go from verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and kind of just come up with different ways to create music. Obviously songs are usually done between either a 4-bar loop or an 8-bar loop, sometimes 16 or 32. Most of these things are usually built off of just a 4-bar loop, and then you can build from there. You lay everything out, and then you can just change things up gradually, or you can do an 8-bar loop, so you can have 2 different variations of something to make it unique and make it your own. That's definitely something, like I said, that all, definitely producers and whatnot get. This price wasn't even that bad. The plugin itself is pretty good. They also have other features with this plugin, so when you go more into the depth with it, you can see that they have chords, deep, which is like your bass, melody to help you come up with melodies, and Captain Play basically allows you to play on your own keyboard. So if you have your own MIDI keyboard or even your desktop keyboard, it'll allow you to play those chords in that scale. So that also helps you as well to be more creative, and it seems like you're not just ripping something off. Also, the new thing that they have, this I think they're now selling separate. When I first got Captain Chords, it was brand new, so they bundled the Captain Beat for us for free, but I think now they're charging separately for the Captain Beat. But this is also a great plugin for if you want to know how you should lay out drums. You could throw in different drum packs, so you don't have to use the sounds that they have. They have great sounds, but you could throw in your own ones. So if you go have Splice, which I think is another great source that all producers should have. It's like $8 a month, or you can try like a free version and just try to get some really good sounds, usually like the Cashmere kicks or whatever type of genre of music you're into, and you get those really good, deep sounding kicks or snares or claps, and you can just drop them in each one. And obviously when you first start, it starts with like a 4-on-floor type of beat, so you just hear the kick, boom boom boom, and it's just kind of simple. You can just throw a clap in there, change the rhythm a little bit, just simple stuff just to really just get you going, just so you can built basically a whole beat just from this plugin alone. I know people say it's cheating, it takes away the fun, but it actually helps you learn. It helps me learn to come up with creative things, because basically I use this as a structure, and then I just change things to make it my own. So certain patterns, just like a template, and then I can remove certain elements or add certain elements that I think will add it to it. And I love that I could change the sounds on here, so I could throw in those heavier, deeper kicks from those other things you get from Splice and such sort. So this is definitely a great tool to have. The Captain series, definitely great. Comes with Captain Chords, melody, deep, and then I believe beats is now separate, but there's still great features to have. Another one that they have out too is called Mixed in Key, which I'm going to buy next. It's $50, and basically that can give you great for samples. So basically if you throw in a song or something, you can see what key it is. So that's great if you're trying to make like a remix to a song, or just find out what song is similar, so you can make something similar, so you can have like a reference track and you can see what key that's in. It's a really great plugin. Definitely looking to get into that soon. I think it's like $50 for that plugin, which I think is another great tool to have. Granted, like I said, these things aren't always cheap, and especially what we're going through nowadays, we're still trying to save a buck, but a lot of these companies are giving out great deals right now for these plugins just because of everything going on. So you can still get the best bang for your buck. But this one, I would have to say, start off with this first, especially if you're brand new. If you're a brand new producer, start off with the Captain's plugins, just so you can get an idea of how music should sound, how chords are structured, and how things are laid out. I think this is a great tool to learn, because you could see those notes right in front of your face. You could see what builds up those chords. You could see the different, chords in that scale. So it's definitely a great plugin that I think all producers honestly should have. We're gonna go dive into the next one. I think all producers should have. Pretty much, I think every producer usually has this, but like I said, if you're brand new and you're thinking of what you should get, next one I'm gonna have to say is the Serum. Basically, this is a well-known plugin. You can get this on Splice, so basically you can make payments. That's how I did it. I paid it off. I just made payments through Splice, and I just made the payments of $10 a month. If you can't afford to pay it outright, you can always pay it off early if you want to, but you can just make the payments, to save some money. There's also trial versions as well. So this is a great plugin. I think everybody knows this plugin. It gives you all the different sims. You can start off with different pads and different presets that you can download and add to it. And then I still learn Serum every day. I always learn new things. I actually just learned some new things the other day, which I thought was really cool to make the sounds different. And I actually like that a lot because I felt like, okay, these sounds are just getting the same. You can just use some of these sounds, like some presets you can use and just use straight how it is. I've done it already. So for a couple of my tracks, I basically just took one of these presets. I used it, just put it in my own chord structure, my own patterns, threw some extra reverb on it, just trying to change up the effects a little bit. And, when you add automation and everything, make it your own. But there is ways where you can just take a preset off of here and then just dissect basically anything you want by just changing the parameters and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let's just go with like the crazy piano or something. And, still got that on. And then you can just see different sounds. Then you can change the shapes of it, which I think is awesome. So see how much that just changed, and just like little presets like that, and just kind of make it your own. So this is a great plugin to have to get a lot of those sim sounds that a lot of famous producers use. This is definitely one. The second one that everyone uses too is obviously Silent for One. This was another one I made payments off of. You go to their webpage, which is the Leonard Digital, and they actually have payment options, and I did that until I paid it off to make it cheaper instead of dishing out right. Like I said, when you're trying to save money, sometimes you just gotta make payments on it. It's nothing wrong with that. I do it all the time, just so you can have that plugin and start right away. Like I said, it's allowed to start with trials too. They give you free trials. And there's a million different plugins you can get with these. They already have so much that comes with it, but you can always still download others, some free ones or whatever, by just doing some research. But such great sounds, especially for anything techno. I mean, really, you can use it for a lot of different things. There's obviously plugins that comes with your DAW that are still good too, that you can use right off the bat. Any type of plugins that come with your DAW, if you're using Logic, Ableton, they still have great synth plugins that you can definitely use and benefit from. So those, just try to get those, still get those deep sounds that you want to get with. It just comes to tweaking and just making your own sound, basically. That comes time and whatnot, and you can just do that by just using Captain chords to come up with simple chord structure, just how I had it up there, and then just change the sounds on everything from using Silent for Serum, and you will really see a huge difference from just a basic chord progression to how it sounds differently with different sounds and how it gives you those effects. It's something that you definitely want to put in perspective and just basically learn from everything that you see on the screen and just kind of tweak it. It's kind of just like playing with anything else. You always find new ways to learn something. It's just like anything else. You get a new phone, new tablet, you always dive in. You always, try to do different things on it, and you learn new things over time. Yeah, you could do research and, you could take away. But honestly, the best way just to get going, you got your first system, I would recommend, like I said, get that Captain chords, plug in, boom, that'll start you right off the bat. You can just start studying right there. You can start making music right there alone by just having the beats and the chords right there. Boom, you can have a whole song done with just that plugin alone, which is great. Then you can learn from there how to arrange songs, how to do automations, how to do different effects. And basically, you could take all that and then grow and then, download other packs from Splice. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm just letting you know that these are great plugins that I think everyone should have. Next one that I'm going to go down would be Serato Sample. Now, this is going to be for my DJs. So a lot of my DJs, that never got into music production, but they still DJ. Like, I want to make my own remixes. I want to, get into that vibe, get into that feel. Listen, I'm right there with you. I still haven't really done any remixes thoroughly. I like to create my own or more original than just doing remixes. But you can take a sample, drop it in here, chop it up the way you want to chop it up, just like how you would on your DJ controller. You could even use your DJ controller to chop it up just how you would on your DJ controller, and such a great plugin to have. And you can just sample everything right from there, from different sounds, different drums, whatever. Basically how you do it on your DJ controller, on your Serato Pro, or whatever system you're using, you basically do the same way in Serato Sample. So every DJ is gonna know basically Serato Sample just because you're already used to using Serato. Even if you don't even have Serato, even if you have like Record Box or whatever things, you still learn basically the techniques of cutting up songs and cutting up samples. And this is definitely a great sampler. I was so glad I got this. It was cheap too. I forget the price it is now, but it's still not that bad. Get on the Serato website. Got it when it first was beta, and then I just bought it because I loved it. Definitely a great plugin to have, especially for all my DJs out there. And my last one I want to go into is for when you finally get a whole song, laid out and complete, you want to be able to mix and master. Now, this has been my go-to. I'm obsessed with this plugin, like beyond obsessed, because it makes it so much easier. People don't realize how good it actually makes your song sound. Like, yeah, you could really dive in and mix and master your own songs the way you want to by using a million different plugins and just going through every aspects of it all. But honestly, just this one plugin, Neutron 3 with the Ozone 9, is like honestly like kind of all you need. So after you have like a whole song laid out, you could just easily just mix assistant, balance the whole tracks when you have all your tracks, let it balance out the sound qualities, just what doesn't sound right. So if something needs a little bit more, you just that, and then you can look at each parameter so you can see what it adds. It'll add compression, it'll add limiters and stuff like that, and then you can just fine tune it. So you can still fine tune everything. Then you can combine it with another form and see what's crashing together. It's an expensive program. It is. Right now, they actually, on their website, I believe they sold for 50% off for the whole suite, which is $500 compared to $1,000, which is a steal. If I had $500, I would have bought the whole thing. Right now, I'm just making payments through Splice for the Ozone 9 with the Neutron 3. The Ozone 9 I use for when I'm ready to master my track, and that's honestly such a good plugin too, for even just when it comes down to when you're ready to master track. You don't even have to be like, that's all you need, that and the tone balance. Like, there's so many videos on it, and you just follow that video step by step, and you're basically, it sounds so good. Like, it's such a great plugin, the Ozone 9, because like I said, you could just really fine tune your track and make it like a master version, and it sounds so good. Like my tracks, you can see a couple of them. I'll leave a link to my SoundCloud so you can check out some of the songs and quality that I use with Ozone, especially the first two that I did, which is You're the Only One, which is the track I just released, and my other Back to the Rhythm, and even the Crazy beat. I use those two. So those three beats that are recent on my SoundCloud, I did use the Ozone and the Neutron, which is just, it made it sound so much cleaner. Like, I was surprised compared to some of my other mixes, which are still clean because I had to do it the old-fashioned way, but it was so much faster. Like, I got to mix and master a song so much faster than me doing it the old-fashioned way, going down each of the individual tracks, blending it the way I need to blend it, fine-tune it the way I need to blend it. Basically, this will just give you that preset you need right away, and then you just fine-tune. You're not like starting from scratch. It's already there. It sounds good. You're just gonna need to fine tune it the way you want it to sound, and boom, you're money. Like, you're just straight, you're golden. Honestly, so I'm not sponsored by any of these plugins. I just want to say that again. Honestly, you can tell I only got 225 subscribers, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm definitely trying to reach up, so I'm trying to do more videos regarding everything from DJ, music production related, and this is just something I like to cater for beginners, because there's so many new beginners coming out, especially with everybody being home. They want to try something new. They want to learn something new. This is a great way to do it. Like I said, see if there's some updates. I'll leave us links to each plugin below and where you can get these plugins. But definitely just start with even those. Like, honestly, that's all I really use. Honestly, I use my Isotope Neutron 3 with the Ozone 9 for my mix and mastering. I use my Serum and Silent 1 for my sounds. And basically, I use my Captain plugins just to lay out my chord structure the way I want to lay out my chords faster. I know what kind of key I want it in. I know how I want it to sound. I know I can adjust it to this sound. I know I can add this chord. I have to go to school for that. I already have an idea, but it's just easier than me just playing it on my keyboard and just playing it, or thinking in my head like, oh, what goes with this chord? What can I put in here to make it unique? Instead, I could just look at it and boom, get a track done faster. Because when you prolong on a track for so long, it gets old, and you'll never finish a track. You'll just be like, oh, I'm over the song. I've been working on it for way too long. I'm sick of it. You walk away from it, and then you start a whole new project, and you never finish that song. So it's good just to get songs out as fast as possible. This is great for all genres. Like I said, this is good for pop, hip hop, rap, whatever genre you're into. Use it. I use it for every genre, and it's so much easier. It just makes the workflow so easy. Like, honestly, it's something that definitely all should look into. So I hope this video helps out. There's so many more plugins I can go over. I'll probably do those in another video, but these ones are good just to start now. In the now, these are good ones to start with now. It's a big chunk of money, yeah, it is, but there's also a lot of free plugins. I'll do another video on some good free plugins you can use as well. So stay tuned for that. If you would like to see that, just let me know down in the comments. Once again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, please, because I love doing these videos. I want to reach out to more people that hopefully this could benefit. So definitely, I hope this works. I hope I guys see you in the next one, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.